The Conservative MP for North Essex, Bernard Jenkin, has been asked to pay back £63,000 of his parliamentary expenses. It's believed to be the most any MP has so far been asked to repay by Sir Thomas Legge, who's scrutinising their claims. Mr Jenkin used the money to rent a second home from his sister-in-law.
Just hours after the Telegraph published details of his expenses, we filmed Bernard Jenkin at his second home, which for 5 years he rented from a relative. That practice was banned in 2006, but Mr Jenkin was never told. 5 months on, the leaves have turned golden brown, but the saga rumbles on. In Bernard Jenkin's constituency, many voters agree with the man who's re-auditing MP's expenses, Sir Thomas Legge, who's decided Bernard Jenkin should repay the entire 5-year claim.
He should have to pay. We would have to pay, wouldn't we, if we did something like that?
Well, I suppose if he was told it was OK at the beginning, then I would think probably he's got a right to say, no, I won't pay it back, but at the same time, it's a lot of money, isn't it?
Yeah, I do think he should, yes. Yeah, I mean, with the country being in recession as it is, I think it's just taking liberties.
Bernard Jenkin didn't want to be interviewed today, but he told me on the phone he's written a letter appealing against Sir Thomas Legge's decision, pointing out that he was always careful to make sure he stayed within the spirit and letter of the rules, and that the Fees Office always knew of his family arrangement. But he made it clear he will repay any amount that Sir Thomas Legge finally decides. And most importantly, Bernard Jenkin has the support of his party.
We are absolutely 100% behind him, and I think really if you're asked and advised to do something and you follow the spirit and the letter of the rules, then for the rules to be changed is questionable, and I think that's exactly what Bernard's doing. However, the most important thing is Bernard said whatever the final figures agreed, he will pay that because he's a man of honour.
So while Bernard Jenkin is among the biggest casualties of the expenses clawback financially, the cost politically has been far less significant. Joel Matt, BBC Look East.
The Independent Police Complaints Commission says it will investigate a murder case in Ipswich. Police officers went to a flat in Victoria Street on the 4th of August after a 999 call from a woman in distress. They checked around the flat but took no further action. 5 days later, 41-year-old Rosalind Hunt was found dead in the flat. 3 people have been charged with murder. A jury in the case of a soldier accused of killing a man on a night out in Norwich has been shown CCTV pictures of the incident. Norwich Crown Court has been told that Timothy Moore died in hospital a few days later. Daniel Gooder, a soldier with the Household Cavalry, denies manslaughter.
Southend United could become the next football club in our region to go into administration. It's facing a petition in the High Court next week over an unpaid tax bill of nearly £700,000.
Southend United blame their current financial difficulties on the global banking crisis. The club, like most companies, has struggled to get credit. The League One side owes the revenue £670,000. Payment has already been deferred once, and tomorrow they face the prospect of a winding up order in the High Court. HM Revenue and Customs has now changed its position, though, and will instead seek an administration order next Wednesday. In a statement on the club's website, the Southend chairman, Ron Martin, stated that HMRC's hostile action is not only unwelcome, but also destructive. We're not looking to escape any debts. Indeed, we wish to ensure we pay in full, and will be able to, given a further short respite. If Southend are placed into administration, they'll also be docked 10 points from the Football League. As things stand, that would see them slip to second bottom in League One and into the relegation zone. Pam Melbourne, BBC Look East.
Lowestoft Town are aiming to make it through to the first round of the FA Cup tonight. They take on Gloucester in a replay. It's been 32 years since Town last made it through to the first round proper. A trip to Wrexham awaits the winners. Full coverage is on BBC Radio Suffolk and Radio Norfolk. Controversial plans for extra power lines through Constable Country went on public show today. National Grid wants to build a new line of pylons between Ipswich and Sudbury. The first of 13 public consultations was held this afternoon at Hadley Town Hall. Council officials have said it could spoil the beauty of the area. National Grid says it recognises that local people would have concerns.
Now to a dramatic rescue in Suffolk. More than 15 people were involved and it lasted the best part of an hour. And at the centre of it all, a cow called Rose.
This was Rose today, the rare breed red poll cow looking relatively relaxed with new calf Mungo. It's a far cry from this, the moment Rose got stuck fast after wandering off to a local stream to quench her thirst.
We actually get quite a few calls about cows, horses, etc. getting stuck in rivers or in mud. Usually they'll get themselves out, but on the odd occasions like this one, they need a little bit of assistance.
That assistance involved not just the RSPCA, but firefighters, a vet and friends. Rose belongs to Susie Deacon.
Rose, come on.
She keeps a small number of animals on her farm at Rickinghall and admits this turned into quite a drama.
When she had got her feet in the right position and a little bit more oomph, she was able to help push herself out, and the combination of pulling and her pushing, and she sort of, scrambled up, and there was lots of hip-hip-hooray going on, and she was just dead keen to get back to her calf.
It's what the job's about for me. You get covered in mud, you're cold, put in a lot of effort, worked as a team, fire service vet and myself and the owners. A lot of effort put in, and then to see the animal walking away across the field unhurt it's just fantastic. You can't beat it. You can't beat it.
When there's trouble, it's Rose. No, she's always sort of looking for, a bit of an escapade.
So Rose, no stranger to scrapes, is safe once more. That is, until the next time. Kevin Birch, BBC Look East, in Rickinghall.
People can struggle to find things to do, especially during the evenings. Research carried out by the government shows that people believe it would make a difference if community facilities were open more often.
And in this region, we are leading the way with a new £12 million so-called Super Club. It opened today in Norwich. It's the first of 3 to be built in this region and of 60 across the whole country.
How do you make teenagers happy? How about giving them what they want? The Open Centre opened today. Facilities for young people, designed and run by young people.
The nightclub and the recording studios and the climbing wall, it's just also a place to hang out. Like, when I was younger, there's nothing like this.
It's just amazing. There's nothing like it. I've never seen anything like it. I just wish I had this when I was like 14, 15 as well.
Norwich businessman Russ Dacre came up with the idea in 2002 after 3 teenagers died during nights out drinking. He wanted to create a fun but safe environment.
We are very hardcore on some of the processes that we go through. In some of the events we do, we search young people, we ensure that there's no metal objects, and also we breathalyse on the door, which sounds really crazy, but it's the only way that we can guarantee that there's going to be safety at the events.
650 people filled this space here on Friday night for a drink and drugs-free party. Now, this whole building cost £12 million to build, and it's one of 60 centres that are going to be built across the UK.
The project was given funding from the government's My Place scheme. There's £270 million to be spent. Norwich has the first super club. Stowmarket and Shoeburyness will follow.
And they were basically saying to us, we haven't got anywhere to go, or there aren't the sorts of facilities that we want to use. There are facilities, but nobody's interested in going to them, or, they're so run down that it's horrible, we don't want to go there.
Cracking down on antisocial behaviour and giving teenagers somewhere to go. And Janet Gadgill, BBC Look East, Norwich.